One here on the cross and the other in that place called the Isle of Patmos. When you begin to talk about the day when the triumphant Christ shall declare, it is done, the same one who declared on the cross, it is finished. It is finished, probably the greatest proclamation ever made to man. Yeah, it seemed so when it was spoken. He got this derided, mocked, forsaken, broken, thorn-crowned, wounded, bleeding brother on the cross. A dying man who cared really what he had to say at that point. All the real people had run away. The people who were out there was enjoying it just for a good afternoon's entertainment. We got him. And now he's declaring it's finished. But that word when he said it is finished was heard in heaven just as sure as it was heard in hell. It was heard in the earth realm throughout, and today it echoes in the walls of all of our churches, the churches that look good, the churches that don't look good. The storefronts to the cathedrals, those that's producing and those that ain't doing nothing but propagating just a mess. And he said, a mess, man. Why you come and talk? Because you begin to look at what was finished on that day and have the audacity to come and say, but it ain't over? What do you mean? If it was finished, meant he had redeemed mankind. That's why he came. His suffering proved that. The power of sin and Satan, he says, was done. And we let Flip Wilson convince you all, and I know I'm talking to the right generation because all the young ones is gone. Flip Wilson taught you and say the devil made you do it. The devil didn't make you do it the first time. You know how they say, get me once, shame on you, get me twice, shame on me? You can't keep blaming it on the devil because the devil lost his power when Jesus said it is finished. Sure as we know resurrection, he's going to come back and remind you, I got the keys of death, hell, and the grave. The devil had no power when Jesus declared it's finished. It's the sixth word, but it's also Jesus' recognition that his suffering is over and his task is complete. You begin to look at those 39 stripes. You look at that crown of thorns, and some of us can't take a scratch, let alone a crown of thorns. Hello? Especially those pretty men and women. Amen? We talk about the nails. They drove in nails in his head, but don't think about them little household nails y'all get at Lowe's, because it wasn't them kind of nails. You talk about nails built like iron spikes on the railroad tracks. When you talk about what they had in that day, the precision tools you have to cut nice little pretty nails that match 300 in a row. They didn't have it like that back then. They just cut metal till it would do what it wanted to do, and that was kill somebody. One in each hand, one in each foot. And then the torture of just standing there being mocked all day, hanging on that cross with all of his body functions being released and just drooping down, and all the organs and tissues falling down and sinking out of their rightful places, able to do what they would do, and down to his breathing, but he still had enough to give him it is finished. That's right. You think that this was that kind of man that when he was up there, you heard these preachers, he told to the crazy people, Father, forgive them. Show a little family heart, mother, son, all the people who felt they had been left behind, the ones y'all said wasn't going to be nothing, never be no good, ain't come from nothing. He told all of them, today you be me in paradise if you just acknowledge who I am. Yeah, the boys in the hood gave him that drink when he said, I thirst. And all the wannabes who thought they were the big-time saviors. We got a lot of saviors in the church today, and a lot of saviors in the world today. I'm going to make you, I got you. You follow me, I'll get you where you want to go. Well, all of those were cut out because they proved to have no power, because his last word said, Father, acknowledging God, into thy hands I commend my spirit. When you begin to look at the work that was finished on the cross, I like what one man said. He said, if this is what it takes, he was right in saying it's finished. If this is all I got to do, the job is done. The price has been paid. He will be as he's resurrected, but the resurrected one is still the crucified one. Don't forget. I like what Pascal said. Pascal said Jesus will be in agony until the end of the world. Just took a shift off of It Is Finished Boulevard, coming down. It's not over yet. Because the reality is sure that Jesus will be in agony, the same agony he felt on the cross. He'll be in agony until the end of the world. And when I say it's finished, but it's not over, some of you want to think that Jesus was some just mamby-pamby church boy, but he was a radical. He was a revolutionary. From the beginning to the end, he was a man and he wasn't scared. There was something about him that he had a relationship to the human factor. He wasn't just clothed in flesh. but he was able to relate to the painstaking life of the human factor, the elements that deal with our social struggles, our mental struggles, our emotional challenges, and you begin to look at the spiritual ones, and yeah, that includes everything you deal with with your little bit of money. All the abuses, all of the economic disparities and the social ranges. Jesus understood then what it meant, and don't ever forget he understands today what it means. When I tell you it's finished, but it's not over, just like Jesus, I don't want you to leave the cross today without hearing. It's just like those high school kids that marched out to 3,259 schools for 17 minutes, and you took Washington, D.C. last weekend like nobody's business, and 61 cities across this nation. It's finished, but it's not over. Shows Linda Brown from Brown versus Board of Education just closed her eyes the other day from 1954 to now. Don't think it's over. When I begin to look at that boy in Sacramento, 20 bullets on his grandmama's back step, nothing in his hand but a cell phone. You think it's over? Emmett Till been gone, but that other boy just was buried today. When I begin to look at what's happening in just a few days, April the 4th, this Wednesday, they taking Memphis and Washington, D.C. again, Martin Luther King celebrating that 50th anniversary of his assassination. And you think it was over? You know, no, it's not over. It's finished, but it ain't over. We begin to look at everything that from D.C. to the world. D.C., I'm stopping over by 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. 20500. For those of y'all who won't register to vote, for those who register and won't go to vote, for those who just want to pork out and blame everybody else, want to come to church and sing and shout and go back home and take no responsibility. It's finished, but it's not over. I don't want to bother nobody, but if you could just get up off your butts. Challenges that I remember going to my great-grandmother's home church down there, Zion Hill, AME Zion Church. See, my mother was born on the same highway, 2015 Highway 97 down in Camden, South Carolina's oldest inland city, Kershaw County's finest. Went to Zion Hill, AME Zion Church, still a little off 521, little white clapboard church up the Lockhart Road, turn left into the Belton-shaped community. But it was something about those old seats. We came down 2 weeks every summer and always tried to hit on homecoming or revival. Lord Jesus, we go up there and sit, had the piano in the corner, nobody playing. We just had to listen to they bang the floor, bang whatever, clap their hand and sing. Because as a child, I was immature. I didn't have an appreciation for it. I didn't have an understanding of it. When I begin to think that those hard pews got you Negroes comfortable now. You got a pad on your back and a pad on your butt. And the butts have become the greater challenge because you said, well, I could help, but I would go and do it, but. Oh yeah, the pastor say I could give, but you don't know how much in my, I could give, but. And when you get up off of your butts, you could make the same kind of a difference God empowered and called you to make. It's finished, but it's not over. When we begin to look at where we are, and we can play church all day long. I was singing this song. What kind of church is this? A sanctified church. What kind of church is this? A sanctified church. Hand clapping, foot stomping, tongue talking, church of the living God. And y'all can do all that with your Bibles and your crosses, but it ain't about the cross you wear. As Jesus, even with Simon's help, it's about the cross you bear. It ain't the Bible about the Bible you carry, it's about the word that carries you. It ain't about your clapping hands, dancing and shouting. It's about how straight you can walk for the world to see when all that is done. God is saying it's finished, but it's not over. When I begin to look at where we are, I'm scared. I'm scared for myself. I'm scared for our people. And the reality is, it's just like what was told through the servant that was sent to Hezekiah. Servant was sent to Hezekiah and said, Hezekiah, get your affairs in order. Get your business right. Your time ain't long. And I don't want to bother nobody because I don't want St. Luke to stop me from coming over here every now. My friend on the door, the ushers, and my girls in the kitchen, and the pastor's a friend. And I just say, praise God, I want to be able to come back again. But for all the churches that here, you ain't got to like me. I didn't come here for friends. I came in on assignment. That's the second thing I told Greater Unity when I came across the street. We can be friends. We can love up on one another. But We're here on assignment, and all you got to grow up, all you got to get right, all you got to know that God is soon to come. The signs of the times are upon us. You look at it, I got stuck in a nor'easter in Richmond, Virginia. That's supposed to be the South. Hello? Last week, couldn't get out, couldn't get back. A nor'easter in Virginia? Can we talk? And so, from the mudslides in California to the storms over in India, what more does it take for God to wake you up? Open your eyes so you come back into sober. Sobriety doesn't have to do with just being void of drink. Sober is when you're sober in your judgment. You can see and think clearly and know what God's purpose was, what he said and what he did. Yes, it's finished, but it's not over. Servant was sent to Hezekiah, and just like the FedEx man come to deliver something to you, before you stand at the door and open it, if nobody don't steal your box, you stand there. Hezekiah read it, and Hezekiah went back, and the Bible said he turned his face to the wall and said, "Don't you remember me?" And that's when y'all want to cry. All you just did, you did this at St. Luke. You washed a cup and you washed, put the toilet till you did nothing compared to what he sacrificed and what he did for us, and could declare after all the hell we put him through that it is finished. He wants us to know tonight it ain't over. So don't go home thinking that you paint the eggs, you eat the chocolate on Sunday, dress up in your new hat and your fake shoes and eyelashes, and go get some hair glued in and sewed in tomorrow. That's not going to make an Easter resurrection celebration. Resurrection is when you let the old man die and the old woman die and the new man rises up. That's resurrection. Yes, you ain't got no power, won't get no power until you realize it's finished, but it's not over. That FedEx man, before he could get back to the truck, headquarters called him and said, no. So they got that package, but go back and, you ain't got no more package. Go back and tell him this. Go back and tell him I've heard his prayer. I've seen his tears. Tell him I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add some more years. God has given us time, but how much more time do you need? How many more lying promises you going to make? I'm going to do better, God, if you just do this. How many more second chances do you need when you're already on chance 279? God is calling us to wake up. I don't know how much more time I had, but I know I was on life support for 7 days, but he brought me back for a reason. I don't need no friends in the process, but he sent me on assignment tonight to say it's finished, but it's not over. We've got to get our business straight. I'm going to sit down because I got one more brother to come, and he's over in the corner just like I was, wondering if he was going to get his chance tonight. It's going on midnight, but before midnight comes, because we already hit, we got 60 minutes, 1 minute at midnight, but the reality is, the Washington Metropolitan Choir used to sing an anthem, and it was entitled, "It Is Finished." And the song moment said, "I heard the King of all ages had fought all the battles for me. The victory is mine for the claiming." Hello now. I said the victory is mine for the claiming. In other words, it's there. It's like you win the lottery. All y'all playing the lottery. If you win, you got to go claim it. If not, the money just sits there. Hello? You can win the $438 million, but if you don't go what? Claim it.
Yes, sir.
It won't be yours. I said the victory is mine for the claiming, and now, praise his name, I'm free. Some of y'all bound. You don't see the chains, but we can feel them. Some of y'all are not in chattel slavery. Some of y'all ain't just sharecroppers. Some of y'all in the old time way, like you're still in the bottom of the boat. Master said I can come to church. Master said I can sit on the third row. Master said we can have a pink tea cut. When's the last time you prayed? When's the last time you talked to him and gave him time to talk back to you? When's the last time you turned your plate down, fast and pray? When's the last time you reached out to care for the orphan and the widow? When's the last time you talked to that little girl who's on the street and you say is fast and she ain't no faster than you were 39 years ago? The reality is the season we're in, God is calling us to hear true that it is finished, but it's not over. It is finished. The battle is over. It's finished. There'll be no more war. It's finished. The end of all conflicts. It's finished. And Jesus is Lord. God bless you.